You've done this before. You meet someone, they smile. They say their name, and in that exact moment, no nod. Maybe repeat it back. Maybe even shake their hand, like everything is perfectly normal. And then, it's gone. Not 5 minutes later. Not even 30 seconds later, gone. Now you're trapped in the conversation, smiling, pretending everything is fine, while your brain quietly panics in the background. What was their name? Did they say Jason or Mason? I can't ask again. That would be weird, so you stall. You avoid saying it. You wait, hoping someone else will say it for you. And underneath all of that is this quiet frustration. Why does this keep happening? It feels like a memory problem, like something is wrong with your brain. But the truth is a little more uncomfortable. You didn't forget their name. You never really heard it. Because in that moment, when they said their name, your brain made a split-second decision, and it chose performance over attention. Think about what's actually happening inside your head when you meet someone new. You're not just listening, you're calculating. You're adjusting. You're managing an invisible performance. Do I look confident? What should I say next? Am I being awkward? Do they like me? Your mind isn't receiving information. It's trying to control how you're perceived. And performance is expensive. It takes focus. It takes energy, so your brain has to prioritize what matters most in that moment. And names don't make the cut. A name doesn't tell you if this person is important. It doesn't tell you if they like you. It doesn't help you avoid embarrassment. So your brain quietly labels it as non-essential and lets it slip away. Not because your memory is weak, but because your attention was somewhere else entirely. And here's where it gets even more interesting. The people who forget names the most are often the ones who care the most. Because the more you care about how you're coming across, the louder that internal performance becomes. You start trying harder to say the right thing, to seem interesting, to avoid awkward silence. And in trying harder, something subtle happens. You lose the very details that create connection. It's a strange paradox. The more you want the interaction to go well, the less present you actually become. Your attention turns inward, monitoring yourself instead of noticing the other person. And names in that environment become background noise. Because your brain is already busy tracking everything else. Their tone, their facial expressions. The pauses between words. The tiny signals that might mean approval or rejection. It's like being caught in an internal storm of awareness. And in that storm, a simple name doesn't stand a chance. There's another layer to this too, something deeper about how memory works. Your brain doesn't naturally hold on to abstract information. It prefers things that have shape, emotion, or story. Things it can connect to something else. But a name, on its own, is just a sound. It's empty. It doesn't carry meaning unless you give it one. Chris, Taylor. Jordan, there's nothing to anchor it. No image, no emotion. No context, so unless that name attaches itself to something meaningful in the moment, your brain treats it like static. It passes through, unrecorded. And sometimes, that's not just accidental, it's protective. Because your brain is constantly filtering what deserves your attention. Every person you meet represents a potential investment of time, energy, emotion. And somewhere beneath your awareness, your brain is asking a quiet question. Is this worth remembering? Not in a harsh or judgmental way, just efficiently. So instead of committing immediately, it waits, It observes. It holds off on storing the detail until something signals that this person matters. And if nothing stands out, nothing sticks. Which means forgetting names isn't always a failure. Sometimes it's just your brain choosing not to commit yet. And that leads to a different way of looking at the problem. Maybe forgetting names isn't about memory at all. Maybe it's about presence. Because when you're truly present, something shifts. You're not rehearsing your next sentence. You're not analyzing how you're being perceived. You're not managing an invisible performance. You're just there, curious, open, paying attention. And in that state, people stop feeling like situations you have to navigate and start feeling like experiences you can actually engage with. A name in that moment isn't just a label anymore. It becomes part of a larger picture, a voice, a face, a feeling, a first impression. It has somewhere to land, so it stays. Not because you tried harder to remember it, but because your mind had space to receive it. And maybe that's the real shift. The next time you meet someone, don't focus on memorizing their name. Don't repeat it in your head like a task you need to complete. Instead, pause. Let them say it. And for just a second, stop performing. Stop preparing what you're going to say next. Stop managing how you're being seen. Just notice them, the way they speak, the way they carry themselves, the small details that make them who they are in that moment. Because remembering names isn't about effort, it's about attention. And when you move from performance to curiosity, something unexpected happens. You don't have to force the memory anymore. It stays, not because you held on to it, but because, for a moment, you were actually there to receive it. And maybe that's the quiet truth behind all of this. We don't forget names because we're bad with memory. We forget them because, in that moment, we weren't really listening at all.